Dorje Gurung ji हुनुहुन्छ यो उहाँको प्रेजेन्टेसनको टाइटल चाहिँ नेपाल's education numbers over the decades according to census reports भनेर उहाँले चाहिँ सेन्ससमा अब एजुकेसनको डेटा चाहिँ कल गरेर अब त्यसबाट के कुराहरू सेयर गर्नुहुन्छ आज हामीसँग दोर्जे जीको छोटो परिचय चाहिँ अब अंग्रेजीमा उहाँले उपलब्ध गराउनु भएको छ म अंग्रेजीमा यहाँ पढ्छु Dorje Gurung obtained his post-SLC qualifications from Italy, USA and Australia. A former international science teacher, he has about 20 years of teaching experience in 10 different countries around the world. Following that, for 5 years, he co-directed a non-profit in Nepal upon his return to the country 10 years ago. He is currently self-employed as a teacher, educator, and inspirational speaker. During his time in Nepal, he has also been heavily involved in writing, blogging, and data analysis, especially data contained in Nepal's census reports. Naturally, during the coronavirus pandemic, he tracked and analyzed various numbers about and related to the pandemic and wrote extensively about them, as well as collaborating with a journalist for Kantipur Media House on articles about this subject. Now, Dorje, so you get to speak for about 45 minutes. This was your question and answer.
Okay. My professional language is English. Technical so I'm going to have to apologize in advance for my presentation being entirely in English. Right? Right. Okay. Okay. All right. Firstly, why data? Because I discovered two things. Right? Data literacy in Nepal, I discovered, is very limited. Number two, obviously, and this is because of my background in science, data is extremely important and valuable. But again, probably because data literacy is so low, that is not understood. That's what I've observed. That's not understood well by the population of the country. And I've decided to make this presentation to convey that, and then to give a perspective about and on education that my sense is most Nepalis don't get. Okay? So, of course, data isn't always just about numbers. And sure, numbers and absolute values convey certain information, but obviously, trends and patterns also convey valuable information. They give insights that you don't normally get from other sources of information. Number of obvious things that you can see that trends and patterns convey. You can see in this chart, for example, what do you see? Again, I'll have a lot of questions. Because of my teaching background, that's the kind of presentations I am used to making. Instead of sitting in the front and talking away, I have engagements, interactive sessions with whoever I'm presenting to. So what do you notice, for example, with this data? Anything that jumps at you?
Post-Punjab increase in numbers of languages, ethnicities, and religions. It's the most obvious thing.
Yes. Right? They increase. What else?
So 61 to 91, so the period देखिन्छ political systems with the correlation देखिन्छ like 1951 61 to 91 को त्यो अलिकति flat जस्तो छ माथि हैन 91 वर्ष अलिकति increase
Yeah. There's dramatic changes post 91. And also there's this pattern that's kind of strange. It dips. Right? And the most obvious one is this.
There's no record.
There is. Nepal has been taking census since 1911. Where is that? I haven't found it. If someone finds it, I would love to have them. Census reports from 1991 to 1952. 91 to 42. So, the point being that there are lots missing, and where the data is available, there are patterns, strange, interesting patterns, right? The question is, why are they there? And in the search for answers to those questions is the discoveries, the interesting discoveries that you make. And sometimes you make some unusual discoveries, interesting discoveries. What do you notice about this? Population distribution by single year of age. What do you notice? For me, this is fascinating. When I came across it, when I was analyzing data, what do you notice? Anything jump at you?
Early years population high छ भन्ने देखिन्छ एउटा त हैन.
Okay. And that's actually consistent with population data from other countries. But there's something peculiar about the Nepali data.
So I might be wrong, right? But I felt like the ages of people have been increasing. Like I don't know, it's correct or not.
I don't know what you mean by
no, that
ages.
is, sorry.
Yeah, I'm not sure what you mean by ages are increasing.
No, what I mean is like I couldn't get it. That's the thing because you have that 80, 70, right?
Mm-hmm.
The slope is going on. So I felt like
80, 70, 60,
Yeah.
50. What do you mean? Go on. What do you notice? 40,
it's
30,
okay, it's okay, sir.
20, 10.
अनि त्यो सबैमा एउटै ठाउँमा स्पाइक छ कि
Yes, in the tens.
हैन.
In the tens, look. And it's not just in 2021, and it's not just in 1961, it's throughout. The population by age, there's highest numbers, there's a pattern, right? One is that in the zeros, tens and zeros, they peak, they're the highest. That's one pattern. What else do you notice?
So, I think it seems त्यो टेन्समा पिक भएको चाहिँ उनीहरूले के अरे अड्कल अप्रोक्सिमेट गरे जस्तो लाग्यो.
Thank you. That may be it. Yes. But why? Why? That's a question. Again, I've asked and I'm looking for, I haven't found. What else? What else? That's tens. What else?
And what does it mean by 1% sample?
Oh, what happened was 1961 census report does not have data of the population by single age. So, what they have reported is a sample, 1% population sample. And that's what I used. Now, why they did that, I have no idea. What else? Okay, so zeros, 10s, 20s, peak. What else? There's another peak.
There's use properly. Your 5 kilometer.
Yes, it peaks in fives. Look at 5, 15, 25, 35, 45, 55, 65. Nepalis, for some reason, have a fondness for zeros and fives. But why? Right? And if you look closely and analyze, as I did, there's another pattern. Evens versus odds. Why? There's a significant difference, like 13% difference. They prefer evens to odds when reporting. Why? Who knows, right? So this is another kind of thing that happens when you analyze data. You discover things that you didn't suspect. And one more thing, patterns. Another reason to look at patterns is to sometimes identify errors. Like for example, one of these data points, I know there are a lot of data points, one of these data points is wrong. Let's see if you can identify that. Which data point is wrong? It's quite obvious, actually. I'll give you a hint. It's between 40 and 60. Okay, if you can't figure out, I'll come back to this, right? The point is, patterns are extremely valuable and important because of the kinds of information it conveys. Okay. Now, back to the topic. So those are the reasons why you would look at data. Oops. And today, in the 45 minutes that I have, I'll share these data. Okay? Again, these are census data, and there are issues with them and so on. Okay? But the numbers are actually pretty bad. Okay? I'll state that on the outset. Okay? They're pretty bad. As a matter of fact, they're kind of depressing. Depressing and disheartening. Okay? All right. Okay, got them, right? And of course, there are many ways, other ways of disaggregating the data. What I'm presenting is just a small sample. Okay? And the reason I say it's disheartening is because of all that which they imply, right? And one of the things that they imply, one of the conclusions that I draw, one of the implications of this data is what I will share at the end. Just one. Right? Okay, moving on. Starting with attendance numbers. Again, what do you notice? School attendance numbers. Blue is enrolled. In other words, percentage attending school. And this is for the ages 6 to 24, or 6 to 25, or 5 to 25. Okay? Again, they're different because that's how the census report provided the data.
Yeah, I mean, there was a change in school going age after 1991. So you see, it was initially after you became 6, you went to school, but now it's 5.
Ah, you mean you start grade 1 at 5?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that. Thank you. That I didn't know.
By the 5 to 9, the primary years.
Wow, okay. Wow, okay. I had no idea why, but now I do. Thank you. All right, what do you notice?
School had the what go 50 बाट 55 हैन
Yeah.
त्यो सबै एजको लागि 5 to 25.
5 to 20. 2011-21, it's 5 to 25.
So 5 to 9 गरेर पनि हेर्नु भएको छ.
That's another way of disaggregating this data, yes. But I haven't done it. You can do that too. So, there's actually been a reduction. Now, what is the reason? That's something else. Okay. What else? What else do you notice?
Unaccounted पनि त बढिरहेको छ.
Yeah, look at this. What is this? Right? There's a large percentage unaccounted for, but there's a dramatic decrease from 91 to 2011. But then there's an increase from 2011 to 2021. Okay. What else? What else do you notice? Lots of missing data. That's the other thing. 1981, 2001. I couldn't find it. It's not there. Right?
So you only looked at the census report, which is every 20 years, huh?
10 years.
10. So, उसरी 81 2001 को छैन report.
The 81 को census report मा भेटाएन मैले. I have all the census reports. But the copy that I have didn't have this information.
2001 को मात्र हुनुपर्ने हो।
हुनुपर्ने, exactly.
Dorje Gurungले त्यसकै एनालिसिस गर्नुभयो हैन?
Yes, you would think so. And thank you for bringing that up. There's another data that Dorje Gurung analyzed, which is part of 2001 census report, but the one that I have does not have it.
तपाईँले लिएको चाहिँ युरोपबाट लिनुभएको छ तपाईँले त्यसले पनि फेरि त्यो चाहिँ तपाईँले नपाउने अर्को मान्छेले कसरी पाउने
अब मेरो चाहिँ recently लिएको Dorje Gurung's source may be different, right? Because I don't have the phones. I only exactly. I only have what I could find on the internet.
Not a raw data.
No, raw. Census kai published.
Published.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, there has been dramatic increase in enrollment from 71 to 2011, and decrease. But overall, it's still small. Overall, like right now, 55%. Not a very good number, right? Okay, next. Oh. All right, next. Disaggregating that by gender. Okay? And this is kind of sad. What do you notice? What do you notice?
यहाँ त त्यो it's not reflecting अब census को third gender other को data. It's only male and female.
Yes, yes. That's something else too. Yes. Uh-huh. What do you notice?
Gap घटिरहेछ नि gender gap.
Gap has decreased quite a bit. There's still a gap. There's still a gap. Okay? There's still a gap. Now, you might think, yeah, I mean, 5%. If you account for errors, maybe it's about the same. But hold on to that thought. Go on.
11 र 21 मा त लगभग उस्तै रहेछ
Mm-hmm. Yeah. There's not been a dramatic change yet. Yeah. 5%. 5%. Okay. All right. Where is that? Oh, unaccounted. Unaccounted. Right? Has gone up between 11 and 2021.
So, census मा के देख्यो भने unaccounted.
Okay, this is my calculation. I look at the age group and then analyze the numbers reported for those in school and not in school. And then I look at the actual demographics of that age group. And if the sum of those in school and not in school is not the same as the demographics, then the rest are unaccounted for. Right?
यसमा चाहिँ I think because of the large age group 6 to 24, so usually the basic primary level, secondary अथवा त्यसरी छुट्टा हुन्छ. अब especially high school पछि त धेरै drop outहरु अथवा college age मा त सो त्यो चाहिँ अलिक देखिँदैन होइन So,
Yes. The explanation may be that, yes. The explanation may be that because after 12th grade, the number that go to school or the number that attend academic institution drops dramatically. And that's another interesting one to look at. I've looked at that and that's another interesting one. Okay? All right. But it's still unfortunate that so many don't continue their education past 12th grade. And we'll see that when we look at the rest of the data as well. Okay. Next, literacy.
लिट्रेसी त बढिरहेको छ सर
Yes. What do you notice? Yeah, it's been increasing. Only 5%. That's post Rana oligarchy. And then it's been increasing, yes. But
So अहिले पनि clear literacy rate कसरी measure गर्छ? Have they defined like what counts as literate person?
I have no idea. I would love to know. However, what they separate, there's another set of data which says can read, can't read, can read but can't write, can read and write, and two things that's it. And then there are others, unaccounted for, not stated, and so on. Okay? But the important thing to note is that the rate at which literacy has been increasing is insanely small. It's almost like 1% per year. Right? Okay. Disaggregated. Again, right? And we're not 100%, far from 100%, and really low, extremely low when we came out of Rana oligarchy. What do you notice? Yeah, there is significant gap. Still, right? School attendance numbers, about 5% difference. But here, look at that. That's pretty massive, 69 to 84. That's 14%, 15%, sorry. It's pretty big, right? Pretty big gap. Anything else that you noticed? Because it's possible that you might notice things that I haven't. Or you might know things that I don't. Anything else? I mean, obviously the percentage here is so low because during Rana oligarchy, people were, except for the Bawan Chetris and maybe some Newars, the others were banned, right? Legally banned from getting an education. Right? So, anything else? Did you notice? No? Okay, let's move on to another disaggregation. Disaggregation of the literate population by gender and the illiterate also by gender. This one shows the breakdown of the demographics by gender, right? Females higher except for in 1981 and 71. But look at that. What do you notice? Yeah, these don't get produced that well. You can see this, so you can figure out how much that is. What do you notice? रातो नदेखि पनि हरियोलाई हेऱ्यो भने थाहा हुन्छ. It's 33.5, so therefore the red is 66.5. Yeah, interesting how the red.
तलको पर्सेन्टेज चाहिँ हटाइदिनु भएको हुन्छ तपाईँले.
Yeah, what I debated doing that, and then I thought, oh, okay, leave it. Yes, that's 0 to 100, and then that's should be 0 to 100, and that should be 0 to 100. I tried to find a way to remove that, and I used Google spreadsheets. I couldn't find a way to do that, but anyway. What do you notice?
अघि कहिले त भयो नि बेसिकली another way of showing the previous graph.
Yes.
So, I mean it shows females बढी illiterate छन् population मा उसको यस्तै share अथवा बढी भयो पनि.
Just buddy illiterate? Just buddy? Only
Twice.
almost twice. That's what was hidden. Okay? The number of females who are illiterate is almost twice those of the males. And that was hidden. That was not apparent in the other chart. And yeah, I mean, obviously it's increasing. Literate females have been increasing, right? But still it hasn't caught up as we found. Okay.
So just to be clear, त्यो गर्नु त. यो 2021 को हेऱ्यो भने यो लास्टमा 66.5 र 33.5 जुन देखाएको छ नि. So यो चाहिँ if you take the whole number of illiterate folks,
Yes.
if you do the head count, among 3 every illiterate 2 are female भने हैन त.
Yes. Of 3, 2 are female. Yes. Exactly. Which was not apparent from the other data, right?
So यहाँबाट त अब it's a very subtle difference. 2011 देखि 21 सम्म त increase भएको छ. There's more illiterate women. Yeah, त्यो यो data according to this data, which is interesting.
Yeah. And which is actually also kind of scary because after 2011 to 2021, Rajeshda, you remind me, or correct me if I'm mistaken, there were at least 2 or 3 adult literacy campaigns?
कतिवटा होला मलाई पनि थाहा छैन.
Yeah, but there were, right?
But you could also factor in Nepalको कन्टेक्स्टमा त त्यो earthquake, COVID, like
Of course.
that decade is
Of course.
which disproportionately hampers marginalized population.
There's that explanation, yes. Okay.
तर तपाईँको छ नि त्यो सेकेन्ड र थर्ड कम्पेयर गर्यो भने त्यहाँ अलिकति एनालिसिसमा केही गडबड छ कि जस्तो पनि बुझ्न सकिन्छ जस्तो लाग्छ.
It's possible, it's possible.
Because among the literates, so you see that, women constitute 46% and men constitute 53%, right? So, illiterate-मा चाहिँ त्यति धेरै significant gap चाहिँ कसरी आयो भने?
Okay. This doesn't include, okay, there's a 4th category, not stated. This doesn't, okay, these 2 do not add up to the total population. For example, if we take all of the literate females and all of the illiterate females, that doesn't add up to all of the females. Does that make sense? There's a... Thank you. Very good, very good, very observant. What the teacher wrote in very good. No, but you're right, and that's the reason. There's another category. Okay, disaggregation, or rather looking at...
त्यो 91 को खै त बुझिएन.
Yeah, it's from 91. 91. Yeah, this is from 91. What am I doing presenting you with data from 1991? There's a very good reason for that. Can anyone guess?
21 को छ है.
China, that's the problem. China, it's not available.
र अर्को कुरा मैले क्याजुअली राम्ररी हेरेको छैन तर कुड यु अल्सो आर्ग्यु 91 मा चाहिँ लिटरेसी not necessarily aligns with caste group, like I don't know, like अब गुरुङ र ठकुरीको it's similar 53% and and I don't know what that says about.
Yeah, there are lots of things that you can read into this, yes. But, yep, if you go to हाम्रो censusको त्यो वेबसाइटमा गयो भने this is not available. 2021 is not available. 2011 is not available. 2001, I haven't found it either. That's why I had to go all the way back to 1991. Okay?
यो चुरौटे चाहिँ लेखेको चाहिँ मुस्लिमवाला हो, पहाडतिर चुरौटे भन्नेवाला र मुस्लिम एउटै क्याटेगोरी हो के हो?
You know, I have no idea.
Oh, there.
Oh?
पहाडतिर चाहिँ चुरौटे भन्छ क्या मुस्लिमलाई।
I have no idea. Okay, that's again news for me. Okay. All right, next. Anything else? Okay. Disaggregation by ecological zones, right? See, not stated. देख्नुभयो नि यसमा? That was what was missing from the other one.
So not stated ko what's when a census enumerator shows up in your house and you refuse to give your literacy data, that's when it becomes not stated or came.
Or, I think, from what I understand, लेखेर दिन्छ क्या कोही ठाउँमा. You have to answer questions on paper.
होइन
के हो?
छैन मलाई कुनै पनि censusमा.
अनि कसै इनुमरेटरले गरे होला तर अब जस्ट एटलिस्ट मेरो आफ्नो ओन एक्सपिरियन्समा त इनुमरेटर्सहरूसँग त कन्भर्सेसनबाट नै
उनीहरूले भन्ने हो होइन अझ अस्ति त ट्याब्लेटबाट भनेको थिएँ होइन.
So, yeah. But my own question is that, how does it, what is that not stated? Q.
So no, what I'm asking is, will you show a not stated data in one of your slides, होइन? त्यो सेन्ससको र डेटामा चाहिँ के भनेर आएको हुन्छ र
यो चाहिँ सेन्ससमा not stated भनेर आएको.
not stated भनेर आउँछ.
Yeah. This is a category from the census.
थाहा छैन भने हुन सक्छ।
त्यो चाहिँ सेन्ससको क्याटेगोरी हो.
तर त्यो अलि हाई
Thank you.
त्यो
Well, I thought you were asking beyond that. के होला?
के अरे प्रमुख?
अनि त्यो क्याटेगोरी चाहिँ अलि नट स्टेटेड चाहिँ अलिक धेरै नै भयो क्या सङ्ख्या चाहिँ. त्यो चाहिँ अलिक असम्म लाग्यो.
जस्तो के हुन्छ भने म यहाँ काठमाडौँ बस्छु होइन सर, पोखरामा मेरो बुवा आमालाई सोध्छ क्या, and my father doesn't know what is my qualification.
Aha, maybe that's one of them. Yeah, one of the reasons. Right? छोराछोरीले के पढेछ कति
म
पढेछ
काठमाडौँमा सोध्न चाहिँ आउँदैन क्या, मेरो पोखरा घरमा जान्छ, कोही विदेशमा बसेको छ, कोही खाडीतिर गयो होला होइन. धेरै बुवा आमालाई, मेरो बुवा आफै अन्डर ग्रेजुएट तर स्टिल he didn't know what I was studying. पढ्दै नपढेको मान्छेलाई चासो पनि हुँदैन,
थाहा पनि हुँदैन. Right. Maybe that's what it is. Thank you. Yeah, so not stated, pretty high. Anything else?
पढ्न लेख्न धेरै जान्नेहरू तराईतिर चाहिँ भन्ने पनि बुझ्यो. Which is obvious होइन.
Because of the population.
Population.
21 crore in the census.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is 21. Yeah. So, I mean, for me, what stood out is the massive numbers here.
त्यसैले नम्बरको ठाउँ पर्सेन्टेज राख्न पाएको भए अलि ठिक हुन्थ्यो.
We can do that too, and I've done that too. And it's pretty, like, 3,769. If you add these two up, that's only 2,400. So there are more females who can't read and write in the Tarai than mountain and hills combined. Considerably more, not just more. 3,700, 2,400.
Actually figure any.
Hazır. Yeah. Okay, anything else? Right, let's move on to the next one. This is,
सेग्रिगेसनको तिनवटा क्याटेगोरीमा चाहिँ हेर्नु पर्छ जेन्डर एथनिक
इकोलोजिकल जोन, हजुर।
ल्याङ्ग्वेज चाहिँ हेर्नु पर्दैन
ओहो, तिनीहरू सबै हेर्न मिल्छ। धेरै हेर्न मिल्छ, जिल्ला हेर्न मिल्छ। देयर सो मेनी वेज अफ डिसएग्रिगेटिङ दिस। हजुर, त्यो सबै हेर्न मिल्छ। मैले चाहिँ त्यो ल्याङ्ग्वेजको चाहिँ गराएको छैन। ल्याङ्ग्वेजको चाहिँ गराएको छैन। द्याट वुड बी इन्ट्रेस्टिङ है। मदर टङ एन्ड या that would be interesting. Okay, next. Now we're moving into educational attainment. And what is also interesting is that looking at drawing these charts and looking at patterns, I also discovered an error in the 2021 census report. What they did was swap these numbers. SLC equivalent and intermediate. This is the corrected, this chart uses the corrected numbers. The actual census report has these two numbers reversed. What do you notice?
Higher ed is quite low.
Yeah. Yeah. And not only that, between 1952 and all the way to 1991, look at the percentages. Almost zero. Anything else that jumps at you? And the other thing is, literacy might be in the 70s and 80s. Look at qualifications.
So your postgraduate degree भनेको चाहिँ masters?
I assume masters and PhD.
Masters and above भयो त्यसो भन्छ.
Masters is above, yeah. Graduate is bachelor's.
Okay.
अन्त 60% जनसङ्ख्या चाहिँ एसएलसी भन्दा मुनिको रहेछ
अहिले पनि
होइन 17 तिर
Yeah,
6
this is
3 गर्दा 39
70, yeah, exactly.
17
दुईटा जोड्दा
Yeah.
मेल फिमेल जोड्दाखेरि
Okay, let's look at male-female disaggregation. If you thought that was depressing, look at this one. 12 or more, 10 plus 2, or bachelor's or master's or PhD. Anything that jumps at you?
To 1% or 2.
Percentile, yeah. These are all percentages.
there is a steady increase last 20 years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. But is the increase really what one would have liked?
And the numbers are still very low, like
Yeah.
12 years, it's only 20 to 26.
22% नेपालीहरू
Oops.
12% everybody.
Yeah, only 22%. That's like 1/5 of those who are 25 and older. In the US, it's over 90%. And look what's happening in the US. Okay. Gender now. Same data, disaggregated by gender. we've made some strides, right? Again, to the left-hand side is the breakdown of the demographics by gender.
So there's still 5% more women than men in Nepal.
अहिले?
No.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, that's what it is.
Gender
Hey, what happened?
Is that just basic gender?
No, there's an error here.
mistake was this.
There's an error here. In 2000, in both of these, there should be. I don't know now. There isn't that big difference. It's 51 and 49. It's 51 and 49. I don't know what happened here.
Same symbol.
Yeah, Google did setting up the
Same data, right?
Yeah, same data. I wonder what happened. But there isn't that big a difference. It's a smaller difference.
र 2001 मा पनि धेरै ठुलो डिफरेन्सेस छैन
81 in 2001?
49.5, 49.7
त्यहाँनिर यो
उतापट्टि चाहिँ दायाँपट्टि
दायाँपट्टि
होइन त्यसैमा फिमेलमा
हजुर
49.5, 49.7 91 मा 49.5 2001 49.7 2.2
Yeah.
त्यति कति धेरै प्रगति भयो तर तल चाहिँ सेम डाटा आयो
Yeah, के भयो त्यसमा चाहिँ? It's 51 and 49, है? त्यो हुनु पर्यो. It's not 52 and 47. Also 53.
So female literacy पनि increase भइरहेछ तर illiteracy पनि increase भइरहेछ हैन I think you can read that.
This is
intermediate graduate level को share हो.
Qualification.
Oh yeah.
Intermediate and graduate.
अब यसलाई positively हेर्ने त female हरूले त गजब प्रगति गरेछ.
Yes, we've made quite a stride in educating the females. Right?
तीव्र रूपमा बढ्दैछ
Higher education मा गजब प्रगति गरेछ
Yeah.
भन्नु पाइयो.
Gender parity index मा
From 61 to 2021, look at that. I mean, that's from 9.4 to 45.9. Intermediate. And then graduate, 5.2 to 44.6. Let's look at postgraduate and 12 and more or more years of education. Kind of similar.
More or less with this.
Right? We've made some strides, but men still, right? Men still have significantly more. There are significantly more males who have postgraduate degrees than females. Almost, almost 2 in 3, almost, not exactly. 36.3 and 36.7. Okay.
1961 को त्यो फिगर फेलान परेको
Thank you. छैन त्यो डिग्री भएकै मान्छे छैन.
यस्तो हुन्छ होला
Yeah?
यस्तो हुन सक्छ
Yeah?
कोही पनि छैन
छैन. According to the data. धेरै पहिलाको कुरा हो नि.
रेकर्डेड नभएको
रेकर्डेड नभएको होला हैन नम्बरै छैन त्यसमा.
देशको हिस्ट्रीमा त धेरै पहिला त हैन.
छुट्याएर रेकर्ड नगरेको भन्ने
1961 अगाडिको कति
73
बढिसकेको थियो
73 वर्ष अगाडिको कुरा भयो.
61 केही न केही त हुनुपर्ने होइन
त्यो क्वालिफिकेसनको लेभलको कुरा भयो.
लेभल पोस्ट ग्रेजुएट
लिटरेटको कुरा भनेकै हो.
पोस्ट ग्रेजुएट
यो त पोस्ट ग्रेजुएट either they were not there or not.
मास्टर्स PhD हैन हाम्रो गन्ने होला. Maybe that's why.
हाम्रो डेकेड
देवेन्द्रहरूको कामले देखाउँदा कति छ.
1961 मा मास्टर्स डिग्री सिधाउने मान्छे नभए त होइनन् हैन.
Bachelor हैन पोस्ट ग्रेजुएट Masters it is.
सरी मैले त्यही भन्नु
right.
खोजेँ मास्टर्स डिग्री सिक्ने मान्छे नभए त होइनन् तर अब सेन्ससले त्यति बेला तिनीहरूसँग पुग्न पाए कि पाएन एउटा कुरा भयो अथवा
It's so small.
it could have been such a tiny number of 0.5 भए पनि आउनु पर्ने हो कि भन्ने हाम्रो चाहना भयो
अर्को कुरा पनि छ भने त्यो सेन्ससले त्यो इमेजिनै गरेन क्वेसनै थिएन
Question is here, yeah, that's also right. You remember, I've only included numbers up to 1 decimal place, so. Pradesh daily भने जस्तै 0.005 हुन सक्थ्यो कि
12 or more ले कभर गर्यो होला सायद त्यो 1960
के चाहिँ
12 or more भन्ने क्वेशनले नै कभर गर्यो
ए त्यो चाहिँ त मैले क्याल्कुलेट गरेको 12 or more I had to calculate that त्यो त मैले क्याल्कुलेट गरेँ त्यो चाहिँ डेटामा थिएन
डाटामा यहाँले लिएर हिसाब गर्नु
Exactly. 12 or more is my calculation. I basically sum.
सर्वे फर्ममा थियो कि थिएन थाहा
त्यो 12, sorry, I should have mentioned that.
नभए यहाँ कसरी हुन्छ र
भएन एब्सेन्ट पेपर फिगर
हैन भने त्यति बेला सायद उले 12 भन्दा बढी पढ्नेलाई लमसममा राखिदिएको हुन सक्छ कि
हैन 12 भन्दा बढीको त्यो सेन्ससमा छैन I actually calculated
हैन तपाईँ 96 मा कुरा दिएको छ नि त ढिला 12 or more भन्नुहुन्छ
7.2 र 92.8
त्यो भने 12 or more छ नि हैन सो त्यो 100% भनिसकेपछि 12 पढ्नु भने त्यति बेला खतरै थियो होला
इन्टरमिडिएट भन्यो
आइए भन्दा
हायर एजुकेसनमै राखेको
आइए
त्यो भन्दा माथिको सबैले लक गर्दै होला भने
Maybe.
अब अहिले चाहिँ हामीले 12 14 16 18 जति ब्रेकडाउन गर्यौँ नि हैन त्यति बेला चाहिँ त्यति धेरै ब्रेकडाउन
Yeah, I'm trying to remember.
आइए देखि
एसएलसी एसएलसी माथि राखेको
I'm trying to remember. के होला? They may have been that. Okay. Boy, anything else? Okay. यो धेरै भएको भए गर्नु हुन्थ्यो. I'm not going to do that. Now, disaggregation by educational attainment, disaggregation of educational attainment by ethnicity, caste, right? That's what I'm going to move on to now. But before I do that, you noted that 1952, 1954, in 1952 and 54, the literacy level was like 5%. Educational attainment was really small percentage. And as you know, the reason is that no one, apart from Baun Chetris and possibly some Newars, could get education. It was not available. As a matter of fact, it was banned, right? And when the oligarchy ended, then the government of Nepal started to provide education to the public. And one of the first schools that provided education to the public was St. Xavier's. Now, the reason I use St. Xavier's data is because I have that data. That's the only reason. And plus, the reason I use St. Xavier's also is because graduates of St. Xavier's, I'm assuming, were more likely to go on to do further education, even then, than from any other schools. Gurung Kanto did not even exist, right? Okay, so what do you notice about the first graduates, the first 2 classes of St. Xavier's?
40% to 2 वर्षमा राणा मात्र रहेछ
Thank you very much. Yes.
त्यो थापा धर्मपाल भन्ने पहिलाको प्रधानमन्त्री थियो
I don't know.
most likely
So 40%, what else? What else? अनि अरू को रहेछ त?
It's all males.
राणा मात्रै काउन्ट गरेको
All males. St. Xavier's was actually
पहिला all boys.
all boys थियो, हैन? What
धेरै
else?
पछिसम्म
धेरै पछिसम्म नि हामी हुँदाखेरि पनि
अब यसमा एक्सक्लुड भएको त अब त्यो कति छ
Okay.
इन्क्लुडेड भन्दा पनि एक्सक्लुडेड धेरै छ नि यसमा त अब
Yes. Okay.
Baun Chetri
Most-
नेवार राणास
Is it?
Baun Chetri नेवार राणास
That's it, yeah. But there's one though, one exception.
डङ्गोल
No, Dangal the Newar one, you know. But there's one exception though. There's one exception. Let's see if we can. Raunia, Raunia. There's one.
त्यो रोनेर भने पनि ब्राह्मण नै त हो नि
Hey, what up?
तरै ब्राह्मण
Tarai Brahman, yeah. Okay, Tarai Brahman. But not Hill Brahman. Okay, so this is the first 2 graduating class of St. Xavier's. And let's move on to
25 तारिक के हो
त्यो Roniar is directly
हाम्रो
one of the uncles of Vikas Roniar हो के
because
सुरजनाथ Roniar भनेको त्यो विकासको आफ्नै ठुलो बुवा हो कि यस्तै के हो
okay, let's move on to the next one.
फोटो पनि चिटिकै रहेछ
73
You're saying 73 go? Yes.
म त प्रतिदिन पठाउँदै
म अलि यति बुढो त होइन नि यार कति टाढै बुढो बनाएको
उहाँको आउँछ एकछिन धैर्य गर्नुहोस्
जेन्डर देखिन्छ तर यहाँ कास्ट पढ्न अलिक गाह्रो भयो
ए है
तर you could probably tell us case his
चस्मा
caste
पनि
maybe
कति
changes.
धेरै दिन्छ
जसमा लगाउने
रहन्छ
I can read. If I can read, you can.
यहाँ केही नम्बरमा जनजातिहरू आएका छन्
अलिकति है कति छ
सेयर चल्दैछ
छ त
तिम्रो हेर्नु पर्यो
होइन अब अघि नै फर्स्ट 2 इयर क्लासको मात्र देखाइयो होइन अब थर्ड क्लासको देखाएको भए लाइक द थर्ड ग्रेजुएटिङ क्लास देखाएको भए पनि
Yeah, but I only have 45 minutes.
No, yeah, but that third class graduating class मा त शान्ता पुन्ता I would have shown up भन्न खोजेको यो I'm saying जनजातिहरू देखा पर्नको लागि 73 सम्म कुर्नु पर्दैन थियो भन्न खोजेको त्यति भन्न खोजेको
Okay, good. कतिजना छ जनजाति?
छ नि त डन्नै छ त यसमा if you count I mean if you count Rajiv Raj Bhandari also हाम्रो मर्गन टाइपको साउजी also as a जनजाति which नेपालको अहिलेको
नेवार हैन?
त्यही त अहिलेको नेपालको legal definition ले तपाईलाई जनजाति हो just like it includes me as a जनजाति
Right. Yeah. Yes, it is जनजाति. But for the purposes of our discussion, I am separating the Newars from the Janjatis.
ल
Maybe there's like a presenter's bias also going on.
And there is a reason for that. But I don't do something like this for no reason, but there is a reason for that, and you'll see. Eh? Just you wait.
Another because Roniar related Sudha Roniar, Dr. Sudha Roniar, homeopathic doctor.
Hey, okay.
Top row of second.
Hey, right. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's it. Improvement.
15-16% मा पुग्यो
Yeah. Now, of course, this has had consequences. And coming back to now, higher education, right? Advanced degrees. In 1979, रातो राम्रोसँग देखिदैन है, but you can see that, you can make that out, right? So in 1979, you can understand why this is the case. Having looked at data from 56, 57, and 73 of St. Xavier's, right? 84% belong to Baun, Chetri, and Newar ethnic groups. Right? Okay. Now, moving on to, or
45 minutes to सिक्नेको धेरै बेर भइसक्यो है हो त
तपाईँकोमा त आउन बाँकी नै थियो नि।
ल गरौँ न गरौँ
Class of 81. So that's so that's my worth here.
त्यही हो
What do you notice? Improvement, definitely, right? Definitely improvement.
few
चौधरी पनि आउनुहुन्छ होइन?
There is a Matthews.
I mean यो तपाईँले यो के अरे जनजातिहरू एक दुईवटा मिस पनि गर्नुभएको छ जस्तो प्रदीप
I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
I'm still learning.
भन्नुहोस् त so प्रदीप थापा is a मगर थापा right over there
Raj Bhandari is in
okay त्यो माथि छ अनिल तामाङको मुनि
Okay. That's good to know. Because it's hard to, determine Thapa
not only is a जनजाति थापा but he worked for the government and became a almost secondary level ko, and just retired.
Okay. All right, that's good. Okay, so there's one that I missed.
श्रेष्ठ
That's good to know.
धेरै हुन्छ यी
Oh, यो साथी Matthews is a
Dandat.
no, he's not a Dandat. He's a Christian with an Indian father and a Rana mother. So grew up in Kathmandu.
Okay. Anyway, the point being that there's some improvements, right? Now,
त्यो बुढा थोकी पनि त्यस्तै हो कि
hey, बुढाथोकी के हो? बुढाथोकी छेत्री होइन? कि के हो?
दुइटै हुन्छ
मगर हो कि के हो भने त्यो
दुइटै हुन्छ
Yeah, I've heard.
मगर
Yeah, and unless you know him or her, it's hard to determine just from the names,
यो
right?
चाहिँ एसएलसी को होला हैन ग्रेजुएट
Yeah.
एसएलसी
Okay, so now moving to census data. What do you notice? And here's your answer to the question, why Newars are separate.
अब अहिलेको हिमालको एक सब यसको आन्सर
Uh-huh.
प्रिभियस लाइनमा
Well, हिमालको चाहिँ 79 को भयो, यहाँ चाहिँ 91 को छ,
आन्सर
2001.
चाहिँ त्यही हो भने नि
Hmm?
आन्सर चाहिँ त्यही हो भने नि
Right. What do you notice?
Overrepresented भन्नु पर्यो नि अब
Yeah.
ग्रेजुएट्सहरुमा.
41%. But they represent only 13% of the population. This is based on 2001 census report. Where is 2011? Where is 2021? It's not available. The government of Nepal has decided to withhold this information.
So you're saying publicly available domain matter you extracted all this, this is showing they have stopped making it available. You especially
2001
asking
को
the
त-
caste breakdown.
Yeah, 2001 को the census report मा पनि छैन. The one that I had, I used उहाँले भने जस्तै Dr. Gurung को article.
My sense is 2001 को तपाईंका छैन भन्यो, it's not available. तर डाक्टर हर्क being डाक्टर हर्क, he must have had basically them CBS लाई मलाई प्रोवाइड गर भनेर गरेर अनि ब्रेक डाउन गरे होला, उहाँले गरे होला.
Probably.
So
मैले भने नि पहुँच खै मेरो पहुँच. मेरो त पहुँचमा
तर यस्तो अब एउटा पहुँच त हामीले जेनरली त्यसरी पनि हामीले सोच्छौँ नेपालमा हैन, तर तपाईलाई यो काम सिरियसली गर्न मन छ भने त लेखेर चाहिँ के हुन्छ पनि भन्न मिल्यो नि त.
Of course.
पहुँच नगरिकन whoever like is the bureaucrat, हाकिम there, एक दुईजनालाई लेखेर. And if they say for this reason I cannot provide you the data, we cannot, then you can make that reason public.
Of course.
त्यो चाहिँ गर्न मिल्यो.
यसमा एउटा यो 2011 को सेन्ससकोमा चाहिँ सिबिएसले ल्याङ्ग्वेजको भनेर एकजना एन्थ्रोपोलोजिस्टको दाहाललाई भनौँ युएनएफपीले प्रकाशित गरेका छ त्यो भोल्युम्सहरू त्यो चाहिँ एभाइलेबल छ त्यो वेबसाइटमा युएनएफपीको भाषा थियो बेग्ला बेग्लै एनालिसिस उनीहरूलाई पोस्ट सेन्सस उहाँहरूले बोलाएर यो एनालिसिस गर्ने एथनिक छ.
Wow, okay.
त्यो
That's good to know.
सहयोगी
No, that's good to know.
हो.
अहिले त एउटा एपै बनाएको छ नि त सेन्ससको होइन. सो देयर इज अ सेन्सस एप यो 2021 को सेन्ससको
छ.
एन्ड यु क्यान त्यहीबाट सजिलै डाउनलोड गर्न सक्नुहुन्छ.
But not this. This is not there. एपमा छैन.
यो तर 21 को डेटा त अब उनीहरूले बल्ल बल्ल अलिक ढिला पनि भयो होइन सो आइएम स्योर इट विल कम आउट
One hopes. Okay. We can just continue, right? Because
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
just been a discussion.
ल ठिक छ
right?
I'll have to go at 4:30 तर you guys can continue ल गरौँ
Now, some other disaggregations, right? हामीले जेन्डरको हेऱ्यो, कास्टको, एथनिसिटीको हेऱ्यो. Some other disaggregation and of the 2021 को data. Again, what do you notice?
अर्बन एरियाजहरूमै पनि त्यति धेरै पढेको मान्छे त रहेनन् होइन
किनभने यो रुरलको 44 आउँदा उनीहरूको 35 मात्रै आएको छ नि
प्राइभरीको त्यो भयो
त्यो हिल र अर्बनको हेर्नु हो भने लगभग उस्तै छ नि त
There isn't that big a difference because of how they have defined rural and urban. त्यसमा पनि छ है इन्ट्रेस्टिङ छ जबकि 2011 मा म्यासिभ डिफरेन्स छ हैन
नगरपालिकावाला
अर्बन
भयो क्या अहिले
गभर्मेन्टको नगरपालिका पनि त उही त
त्यही भयो
बाँदर कुद्ने
होइन त्यसको फेरि गाउँपालिका पनि अब के अरे गजरी गाउँपालिका होइन त्यो पनि त छ नि फेरि
अरु त के गरेको भएर पनि हुन्छ
गजरी हुने
That's mine. Thank you. Okay, so we move on to the next one?
Yeah.
Okay. This is looking at the people with qualifications broken down by their degree. What do you notice?
यो भर्खरको होइन
Yes, this is 2021. Yes.
नो डिग्री
2%
नो डिग्रीको इन्ट्रेस्टिङ रहेछ त
म्यानेजमेन्ट भसकै रहेछ नि बढी
Exactly. पैसा कमाउने है
अनि एजुकेसन पनि छ
एजुकेसन पनि छ
मास्टरहरू
सबैभन्दा युनिटी चाहिँ यो
2% त अरूलाई जिद्दी गरी त रहेछ थर्डमा रहेछ
What I find sad is
91 को अथवा 2001 को हेरे उनीहरू ठ्याक्क फरक हुन्छ
त्यसमा त अब मेडिसिन इन्जिनियरिङ पनि त्यहाँ एलाइड
oh, hey, oh, hey.
So यसमा छ नि just so if you happen to be 19 years old and you're studying science as a first year bachelor student you would show up in that science and technology you know? It's not like number of years attained education
No, this is degrees. If not with your study, if you have a degree.
तर then that doesn't make sense किनभने 16 वर्षकोले त डिग्री हुँदैन नि त they are
होइन
just
बाई मेजर फिल्ड अफ स्टडी नै भनेको नि त
Yes, so हुँदैन तर के भन्दाखेरि त्यो के नै कुनै न कुनै एज चाहिँ कट अफ गर्नु पर्यो भनेर I think they pick that. That's my guess.
Yeah, but I think you're saying major field of study one has so
जस्तो
degree-
आइएससी पढ्यो भने त्यो
इनरोलमेन्ट मात्रै हो
No, not enrollment. This is degrees held.
Okay.
The major field of study that they
होइन यस्तो
took in.
15 वर्ष 16 वर्षमा त एसएलसी नै भयो होइन सो
त्योभन्दा माथि भयो
पोस्ट एसएलसी 15 एज 15 एन्ड अदर डेमोग्राफिज अफ नेपाल बाइ द
के रे?
मेजर फिल्ड अफ स्टडी पोस्ट एसएलसी यो अलिक मिलेन नि
के पढ्नु
पोस्ट एसएलसी भनेपछि त्यति बेला बल्ल you decide on your major field of study.
15 वर्षमा त एसएलसी दिँदैन नि त
Right. You're right. But I think what happened was they had to pick a year, होइन 15 गर्ने कि 16 गर्ने कि 17 गर्ने कि 18 गर्ने कि 20 गर्ने कि होइन I can basically decide I can basically use these numbers and say okay over 25 years of age भनेर पनि निकाल्नु मिल्छ
16 भने मैले अलि मिल्थ्यो होला
होइन
अनि यसले मैले के बुझेँ भने नट लेस देन 15 इयर्स भन्ने बुझेँ क्या म त सबैजना ओल्डर भनेपछि सबै इन्क्लुड हुन्छ 14 वर्षमा गरेको भए त्यो यहाँ चाहिँ एक्सक्लुड
होइन यो 15 वर्ष के भन्दाखेरि
+2, 11.
पर्सेन्टेज निकाल्नलाई त्यो 15 and over को नम्बर युज गरेको हो कि I could have used, that's what the census report did.
यसरी बुझ्नु पर्यो. You could be age 16 and have no post-SLC degree, and so you won't even show up in this.
Exactly.
नो डिग्रीमा आउँछ होला
Exactly.
त्यो चाहिँ नो डिग्रीमा आउँछ होला
Hey, sorry. त्यसमा नो डिग्रीमा आउँछ.
ए ओके.
नो डिग्री.
त्यो भयो भने
81% त झ्याम्मै छ नि
ठुलो छ नि त।
Okay. So what jumped out was what Pradesh Dai also pointed out. Management, right? पैसा कमाउने
तर I think अझै if you actually filter it with a higher age 21, 22, 23 गऱ्यो भने चाहिँ अलि accurate picture आउँछ होला लाइक त्यो कुन फिल्डमा बढी गइरहेछ
Possible, yeah.
त्यो नो डिग्री घट्थ्यो त्यहाँ चाहिँ
के पढ्छ तपाईँको छोराछोरी भन्दा यो भन्दा ठ्याक्क भन्ने होला
नो डिग्री पनि घट्थ्यो अलिकति
Got it. Oh, definitely. Definitely, yeah.
+2 थाहा छ नि हैन
And then, of course, disaggregation of the field of study by gender. What do you notice?
So I just.
इन्जिनियरिङमा त केटै केटा रहेछ त सक्ला
Yeah.
Oh, health मा
एजुकेसन पढ्ने सब महिला भन्नु पर्यो
Education, yes. Look at that. Right?
health मा पनि महिला हुनुहुन्छ।
हेल्थमा पनि
Yeah.
नर्सिङले गर्दा
Yes. Not because they're doctors, but thank you. Nursing.
टिचर
घर पाएक
Agriculture,
घर पाएक कलेज हुँदो रहेछ नि त एजुकेसन कलेजले हैन
Anything else? त्यही हो हैन?
ह्युम्यानिटिज र
That which
म्यानेजमेन्ट
science पनि हेर्नुहोस् त. Overrepresentation of males.
इन्जिनियरिङ त कस्तो तर पे गरेर
Yeah. Law as well. Look at that.
ल चाहिँ बढ्दै रहेछ
And computing. Look at that.
भेटनेरी डक्टरहरू
इन्ट्रेस्टिङ
Okay, shall I move on?
यस यस
British Day is backing up. Okay.
No, no, backing up. एकजना भेटाइरहेछ कि मलाई ए त्यो गर्ने
So the just based on this data and others that I've looked at around education, one of the things that one of the conclusions I've come to, and of course, this conclusion is based on not just this data, it needs other data to reconfirm it, is that Nepali society, Nepal, is highly inequitable and unjust, right? That's what it shows. That's one of the things that the data shows. And it was reconfirmed also by COVID data, which I tracked over the course of the 3 years of coronavirus pandemic. I started with one spreadsheet, and now I have almost 50 spreadsheets. And some of the analysis looked at equity. We could do a presentation on that some other time. And in addition to that, the other thing that saddens me is this. We've got a huge population who don't know how to unlearn, right? That which they've been taught.